Hey everyone, this is Ryan Laukat. I wanted to take a moment and show you my new game, The Ancient World. This is the prototype I've set up here. I'm really excited about this game. We've been working on it for a long time. I've done a lot of the art for it, and it's quite fun. So I thought I would show you a quick round of play to see if it was something that you'd be interested in. I've set the game up for 2 players. This is one of the nations here, and this is another one. I will be playing this nation, and you can play this one. You get to play as a nation in this ancient mythological world. And now the interesting thing about this world is that it is overrun by these gigantic, terrifying titans. You can see them off in the distance here on the board. And they're coming over to destroy a city or wreak havoc or basically make this a terrible place to live. So it's been like this for centuries, and you have pledged to fight back against these titans. Well, how are you going to do that? Well, you need to gather some of the tribes that have been living in this world for a long time so you can become more powerful. You're going to be using your armies to fight the titans, and the player who is most successful is going to be the winner. So let me show you a couple of the things on the board here. So I was describing the titans a moment ago. These are the 3 titan piles. So these are titan cards that you're going to be trying to attack and destroy. And you'll notice that on each of these titan cards is a little banner in the corner. That banner represents that when you defeat this titan, that banner belongs to a certain tribe. So that tribe is happy you defeated that titan, and they're going to unite themselves with your growing empire. Now these piles are in easy, medium, and hard. And the easy ones give 1 banner, the medium give 2, and the hard titans, they give 3 banners. This is important because at the end of the game you get victory points for having sets of banners. There's another way you can get banners, and that is by building these cards right here. These are empire cards. So let me back out just a bit and show you. This is the whole board, and along the bottom of the board is a card row. And over here, these are empire cards. They basically represent buildings or different aspects of your empire. And you'll notice that they also have those banners on there. So you'll want to be building these in your nation, collecting these cards. They give different abilities as well. Those are on the top of the card, the abilities, and on the bottom of the card is the cost. Some of these cost coins, that's one of the currencies in the game, and some of them also cost this little scroll, which is called knowledge. Down here, this is a nation board. Let me go over to your nation area right here, and I will describe the different aspects. So right here on the left of your player board, these are military cards. These are armies. So you start out with 2 armies, the spearmen and the brutes. They have different abilities on the bottom of the cards. They have swords or arrows, and you need those to defeat titans. Right here is your player board. Right on the top here you have you start out with 3 citizens. And you'll notice they have little numbers on top. That's their skill number. And this is important because, I will describe sort of what the skill number means in a moment. This is a worker placement game, and you're going to be placing those citizens on the board in various areas, and they will take different actions. Below that are your starting income. This is your coins that you have. The first player starts with 7, and the second player starts with 8. You're going to be the second player, so you have 8. Right here is your capital city. You start with a capital city. And this number right here on the left, this is your capacity. So this is how many empire cards you can have. You start out with 2 empire cards. You have them right here. And if you want to increase, once you'll buy 2 more, and you'll have 4, and you'll need to increase your capacity if you want to have more empire cards. Right here is your income. This is a little coin with a 5 in it, and on top is an arrow. That arrow basically means that at the end of every round, if an icon has an arrow on the top of it, you'll be collecting that as sort of an income every round. So you collect 5 coins every round. Below that is a little turnip. that represents your food, and you need 1 food for every citizen that you have. Now, food isn't a resource that you collect. It is something that you just need. You just need 1 of those symbols for each citizen you have. Now, if you don't have enough, they're going to go in the starving box, and they will be useless. They'll just sit there until you can feed them. Okay, next to the turnip are 2 card symbols with an A in it. That represents that you can have 2 armies, up to 2 armies, which you already have. You do have 2 armies, so you're at your limit already. And then over here are your 2 empire cards. So you start with these 2 empire cards. They give no banners, but they each give 1 food. So that lets you have enough food to feed your citizens when you start the game. Okay, so that's really enough to get started. Let's just start first with, I'm the first player. I have this card right here, the first player card. So I will go first. And I'm going to take, now on your turn, you can either use a citizen, you can send them somewhere to go do something, or you can pay your armies to go and attack a titan. So the first thing I want to do in this case is use a citizen. So I'm going to use my 3 skill citizen. I'm going to put him up on this action here, learn. Now learn allows me to pay 3 coins and get a knowledge, which I'm going to do. I'm going to pay my 3 of my coins that I start out with. I get 2 back. And oh, because I forgot to mention that these silver ones, they are worth 5. So I paid my coins for that, and I can gain a knowledge. Now I don't have, because this is a prototype, I don't have tokens with a scroll on them, so I'm just using these red cubes. So I'll put that on my player board, and my turn is finished. It is now your turn. So you would also like a knowledge. And under certain circumstances, you could send a citizen to learn. And let me just tell you how that works. So right now, I sent my 3 skill citizen to learn. If you had a 4 or a 5 skill citizen, you could send one of those citizens there as well and gain an action. So the rule is you can place a skill number on an action as long as it's higher. You don't have a 4 or 5, you just have your starting 1, 2, and 3. So you're going to have to place one of those citizens somewhere else. Now let me just say, why would you need knowledge? Well, if you look at the empire cards here, you'll notice that 2 of the 4 available empire cards cost knowledge. However, you don't need knowledge for some of these other cards. So you're just going to send a citizen over to build. Why not? And not spend a knowledge. So you send it over to build, and we can choose either the public house or the vineyard. Now the public house is interesting. It gives us a little action. So anytime you see that icon of a guy with a square around it, that means it's an action. So on the board, you'll notice that all these different banners, they have a little guy with a box around him. That's an action. So you'll get your own personal action that nobody else can use. And that will give you the first player card and a knowledge, which sounds really good. So why not? Let's just build that in your empire. So we'll put it right here. We'll pay the 3 coins that it costs, and we're set to go, and that's our turn. So we're back to my turn. Let's see, what should I do? I have my 2 citizens. I just got my knowledge, so it's probably a good idea to go in there and build as well. Okay, so a moment ago I described how actions work. So for example, on learn, no one else can place a citizen there unless it is higher than the 3 that I already placed there. You know, I could use it again myself as if I had a 4 or a 5. Now there are two actions that are slightly different. They have a different rule, and those two actions are build and recruit. Build is right here, and that lets you build empire cards. Recruit over here, that lets you get new armies. Now let me describe what that rule does. If you'll notice, just below the name is a little bit of iconography here. This says if a citizen if you place a citizen and it does not equal a citizen that is already there, you have to pay a coin. So I can actually, let's say there was a 3 here, I could place a 2 on build, no problem, but I would have to pay a coin. In this case, there's a 1 there. If I placed my 2 on build, I would have to pay a coin. But if I just place my 1, I don't have to pay a coin. That's how that rule works. So you want to place the same as is already on the action. If there are no citizens on the action, then that rule doesn't apply. You just place your citizen there. Okay, so we have 3 choices, but I think we're most interested in these 2 that cost a knowledge. The walled city. The walled city gives a coin and an action, another army. Now that's interesting. So we could have 3 different armies, and this coin has the arrow, so it's an income that we would gain at the end of every round. Or we could buy the shrine, which would give us a knowledge income. You know, I think we're going to focus, maybe we'll focus on military. That's something, you know, that I'm going to say that I'm going to focus on military. So I'll put this in with my other empire cards. I'll pay my 1 knowledge that it costs, and it is now part of my empire. So my turn is over, and it's back to you. You have 2 citizens left, and you just purchased that public house. Now you probably want a knowledge as well, and you know, getting that first player card for next round might be a good idea. So you take one of your citizens and place it on this new empire card that we just bought that gives the action. So we're going to take that first player card from you, or going to take it from me. I keep saying we, but really this is your turn. So you're going to take this first player card. Now when you take this card, you flip it to the other side where it says claimed. That means that nobody else can take it from you for the entire round. So you're secure in knowing that next round you're going to be the first player. So you also gain from that action, you also gain a knowledge. So we'll get one of these red cubes. In the actual game, these will be little knowledge tokens with the little scroll on them. Put that on the player board, and we are set to go. So that's your turn, and it's back to me. It's my turn again. So I have 1 citizen left. I am going to, you know, because I can have 3 armies now, I might just send this guy over to the recruit action right here. And now this one costs a knowledge, but this one's free. There's no cost here. So I'm just going to take this new army. Let me just describe really quickly what these what all these things mean on this card. So on the bottom, this right here, this sword icon, that's the attack power of the army. Now up here, right here, underneath this little banner is where the cost usually is. In this case, this one's free, so I didn't have to pay anything. This up here, right on the top right, it's called the legacy ability, and I will describe what that does in a moment. It's something that the army will give when it retires, and at a certain point in the game, you'll want to retire your armies.